Main event: Jey Uso to face Roman Reigns. WWE not renewing the contracts of some of its superstars. Rhea Ripley and Sami Zayn encounter after WWE SmackDown went off the air. Details of controversial Brock Lesnar squash match reported. Shocking return: the biggest sign of Vince McMahon being back in power. New world champion to be seen as less than Roman Reigns, and more. Let's jump right into it. WWE not renewing the contracts of some of its superstars. Wrestling veteran Dutch Mantell thinks WWE may not renew the contracts of many of its performers who claim to be frustrated for various reasons. According to reports, backstage morale took a hit in the wake of Vince McMahon's recent return to the promotion. The Raw after WrestleMania 39 especially frustrated wrestlers as there were many last-minute script changes. With Nick Khan hinting at possible budget cuts as well, it's safe to say it would only affect the morale further as some talent could face the axe. Speaking on the latest episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk, Dutch Mantell explained his frustration over those performers who claimed to be unhappy. The former WWE manager wondered if those talents could make the same amount of money elsewhere. Mantell also thinks the global juggernaut itself may not renew the contracts of all the athletes part of the roster. Some of them say, and I've talked about this earlier, "Oh, I'm not hanging around here and do. Where are you going to go and make the money you're making?" I do agree with the ones who say, "I'm gonna wait and see," or "I'm going to wait it out." Hell, WWE might not even want to renew some of the contracts, said Dutch Mantell. On a previous episode of Smack Talk, Dutch Mantell spoke about how top stars like Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and others don't complain. Mantell added that it's evident when backstage morale is down and thinks it wasn't the case currently. The former WWE manager also urged other wrestlers in the promotion to act happy whenever they get into the dressing room. And the people that still talk about morale is down asked Sami Zayn, was his morale down, or Kevin Owens, or the Usos, or Romans, or the Codys? I don't get that. I can see when morale is down, but now's it up. So I would highly encourage the WWE guys to keep the morale under wraps and act happy as a lark when you walk into that dressing room, said Dutch Mantell. Though things seemed chaotic on the post-WrestleMania 39 episode of Raw, things seem to be back on track with many well-received shows in recent weeks. Rhea Ripley and Sami Zayn encounter after WWE SmackDown went off the air. The Judgment Day member Rhea Ripley came face-to-face with Sami Zayn after last night's episode of SmackDown. After the Friday night show went off the air last night, the Nightmare defended her SmackDown women's title against Raquel Rodriguez in a singles competition. Ripley defeated her real-life best friend to retain her title belt. Before the match kicked off, though, Rhea Ripley had a tense encounter with none other than top WWE babyface Sami Zayn. Ripley came out for her match while Zayn was making his way to the back. The duos stopped in their tracks, with Rhea coldly staring at Zayn. The undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion decided against taking things further and headed backstage. At WrestleMania 39, the Eradicator defeated Charlotte Flair to win the SmackDown Women's title belt. Ripley and Flair both made it clear that they should have headlined Night 1 of WrestleMania 39. Fans are aware that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles headlined the night. Here's what Ripley said about it. Coming out of that match, I did feel like we stole the show. I feel we went out there and left everything we had in the ring and proved everyone exactly why we should have been in the main event spot. Yes, we didn't have a good build like Sami, Owens, and the Usos. At the same time, Charlotte and I, every time we step in the ring, we bring the brutality, we bring the ferocious when we go out there, and we just beat the living crap out of each other. Both matches ended up stealing the show at WrestleMania 39. Ripley would love to headline the shows somewhere down the line, though. Share your thoughts on Rhea Ripley and Zayn's confrontation after SmackDown. Crowd goes absolutely wild after Baron Corbin wins his first match in 200 days. WWE ended its ongoing tour of Europe with a live event in Paris on Saturday, April 29. Although the show featured many memorable moments, the most notable one was Baron Corbin registering a victory over Rick Boogs, which led to fans in the arena going absolutely wild. The former NXT star has been in a slump over the last few months, with his last victory coming way back in November 2022. At the time, he was paired with JBL and claimed to be the modern-day wrestling god. However, the alliance did not last long as Corbin started losing matches week after week. After 22 straight losses in the singles competition, Baron Corbin finally got a victory at tonight's live event in Paris, defeating Rick Boogs via quick roll-up. However, the 38-year-old wasn't the only one ecstatic with the win. The live crowd was equally delighted with his victory as many fans jumped from their seats and gave the star a standing ovation. Baron Corbin is the last man in WWE to have a pinfall or submission victory over Roman Reigns. The 38-year-old defeated the Bloodline leader in a tables, ladders, chairs and chairs match at the namesake PLE in 2019. However, the two stars' careers have taken opposite trajectories ever since. While Reigns sits firmly at the top of the food chain, Corbin has been a victim of non-coherent storylines and inconsistent booking. The former NXT star's latest run with JBL was also a bust, and their alliance ended only after a few weeks of formation. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's writing with Russo, Vince Russo stated that he wants to see things change for Baron Corbin at the upcoming WWE Draft 2023. Okay, bro, I gotta throw my boy a cookie here. I gotta help my boy Baron Corbin. I gotta throw him the life preserver. I gotta throw him the lifeline. I gotta help put my boy Baron Corbin, said Russo. Baron Corbin has so far not been drafted to either brand. Over the last few weeks, WWE has teased the star going undrafted this year, which could possibly lead to the return of an old gimmick. Details of controversial Brock Lesnar squash match reported. Brock Lesnar is popular for decimating and squashing his opponents in a matter of minutes. One such match took place on the October 4, 2019 episode of WWE SmackDown when the Beast faced Kofi for the WWE Championship. The episode of WWE SmackDown in discussion was the debut of the show on the Fox network. In the show's main event, Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship from Kingston in under 15 seconds, leaving the WWE Universe disgruntled with the decision. Kingston won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35 earlier that year when he beat Daniel Bryan. The fans have fought long and hard to make Coffmania a reality, making the defeat of their favorite WWE superstar a bitter pill to swallow. As per Fightful Select, the controversial decision to have Lesnar win the WWE Championship from Kofi in less than 15 seconds was planned a few weeks after Kingston won the title at WrestleMania. The report suggests that WWE may not have had a long-term plan to keep the New Day member as the champion. On WWE Raw after WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar decided to team up with Cody Rhodes to take on Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns in a tag team match. Before the match started, the Beast turned on his partner, laying him out with an F5. Lesnar continued the vicious assault on the American Nightmare, leaving him helpless before the show went off the air. That night, Cody Rhodes' wife Brandi took to Twitter to address Lesnar's action. The week after the show, Rhodes challenged Lesnar to a match at the upcoming PLE, and WWE quickly made the match official when the Beast accepted the challenge. Will Cody Rhodes slay the Beast at WWE Backlash? Let us know in the comments section below. Shocking return, the biggest sign of Vince McMahon being back in power. Dutch Mantel feels the fact that Shane McMahon returned at WrestleMania 39 was a major sign indicating that Vince McMahon is back in power in WWE. The grandest stage of them all was loaded with several big moments, though none was as shocking as Shane O'Mac's return. The former hardcore champion showed up to face The Miz on the night 2 of the event. However, just seconds into the match, Shane tore his quad muscle. This forced Snoop Dogg to replace the 53-year-old and hit the people's elbow on the A-lister for the win. While things ended on a whimper for Shane McMahon, the crowd erupted upon seeing Shane more than after a year. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk, Dutch Mantel explained that the moment he saw Shane McMahon show up, it convinced him Vince McMahon was back in power in WWE. Mantel also added that he couldn't help but laugh at the way things went down for Shane O'Mac at WrestleMania 39. When I first saw Shane McMahon, I went, wait a minute, and it was like, tell me Vince McMahon is back in charge without telling me Vince McMahon was back in charge, and here comes Shane. I'm not laughing, but he blew his knee out. Well, it was actually kind of funny, but I hate to laugh at it. I don't know how much influence he's going to have on creative, said Dutch Mantel. On an episode of Smack Talk, Dutch Mantel stated that Shane McMahon's injury at WrestleMania 39 was embarrassing. The WWE veteran also lauded The Miz and Snoop Dogg for controlling the situation. Mantel added that he also felt sorry for Shane O'Mac when he was being escorted to the back. When I saw him come out, I was sitting there. Of course, I didn't know he was coming, and nothing came out saying he was there. When I saw him coming, I was like, okay, something's up now because he appears out of nowhere, and he's doing his stuff down the ring, and then he blows his knee out, which is embarrassing, and kudos to Snoop Dogg and The Miz because they covered it up. Did you see the footage of them helping Shane walk back? I really felt sorry for him. It'll be interesting to see if Shane makes more WWE appearances down the line once he recovers from his torn quad muscle. New World Champion to be seen as less than Roman Reigns. Corey Graves recently stated that the new World Heavyweight Champion will be seen as less than Roman Reigns. Triple H recently shocked the WWE Universe when he unveiled the new World Heavyweight Championship. He also mentioned that the new world title will give other superstars an opportunity to become world champion. He also stated that the new world champion will be crowned at Night of Champions. During a recent episode of After the Bell, Corey Graves seemed excited about the prospect of having a new world title belt. He mentioned that it will give an opportunity to both Raw and SmackDown to identify as separate brands. I think it's exciting to have that championship back because it gives Raw and SmackDown both the opportunity to identify themselves as separate, strong, complete brands. Graves further stated that the new world champion will will have to defeat Reigns to be seen as someone who is at his level. But with the introduction or reintroduction of the World Heavyweight Championship comes an epic workload. Until somebody beats Roman Reigns, there will always be a perception that any other champion, any other superstar is slightly less than. So the onus is on whoever becomes World Heavyweight Champion at Night of Champions to put in the work. The WWE draft commenced on SmackDown, and as expected, Roman Reigns was the first pick along with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. This means that the trio will remain on SmackDown. With Reigns now on SmackDown, it is confirmed that the new World Heavyweight Championship will be headed to Raw. However, in a shocking turn of events, the Usos are yet to be drafted, and it looks like they will be eligible for the draft on Raw. But it remains to be seen if they will end up on the same brand as the Tribal Chief, considering they failed to regain the tag team titles on SmackDown. It will be interesting to see what fate awaits the Usos on Raw, especially after their loss despite dedicating the match to Roman Reigns. Do you think the Usos will go to SmackDown? Sound off in the comments section. Main event: Jey Uso to face Roman Reigns. The WWE Universe wants popular Bloodline member Jey Uso to once again return to his main event Jey character amid tension within the faction. The situation within Roman Reigns' faction became worse after the Usos lost the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 39. On SmackDown, the two tag teams collided in a title rematch with Jimmy and Jey once again emerging on the losing side. This could lead to further tension within the Bloodline. Fans now want Jey to return to his old self and challenge Roman Reigns for the title. The two stablemates have collided in singles matches a few years ago. Roman Reigns' next title defense is yet to be confirmed. However, as per reports, there are high chances of him facing Cody Rhodes once again at the grandest stage of them all. Wrestling veteran Dutch Mantel commented on the possibility of a rematch between Rhodes and Reigns. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk, Mantel said, "See the thing about booking, even back in the old days, you couldn't book for just next week, you had to book for next month. You always book 3 weeks ahead. WWE books 3 or 4 months in advance, and with WrestleMania, they're planning it now. I mean, it's not written in stone, but they basically know what the main event is. That's all they need to do anyway. The main event of the guys and the main event of the female. For now, it remains to be seen how drama within the Bloodline will unfold if the Usos remain loyal to the head of the table. Should Jey Uso betray Roman Reigns in the near future? Sound off in the comments.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take